All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tackling a question that is so important, but one a lot of us tend to put off. Are you really financially prepared for an emergency?
Now, I mean seriously, picture this. There's a siren, a knock on the door, a sudden alert, and you have exactly 5 minutes to get out. What do you grab? What's in your hands as you're heading out that door?
Most of our minds jump straight to the go bag, right? You think water bottles, a first aid kit, a flashlight, and yeah, that stuff is absolutely crucial. But what about a go wallet? The financial side of things is just as vital for survival, but it's the part we almost never talk about.
And that's not just a hunch, it's a reality. A lot of people have gotten really good at prepping with physical supplies, but that financial piece of the puzzle, it's just often missing. And that one little gap can turn a really bad situation into a total catastrophe.
And look, this comes from people who've seen it firsthand. Ronald Kendrick over at Union Bank puts it perfectly. He says that after real disasters, it becomes obvious that financial readiness just wasn't on the radar for most people. So, you know what? Let's fix that. Let's get it on our radar, starting right now.
First up, we're going to build your financial foundation. This is the bedrock. This is all about securing your most important documents and policies before anything ever happens.
And the very first thing you need to do is a household inventory. Don't worry, it's a simple 4-step process. First, you just make a list of your valuables. Second, you go on a bit of a scavenger hunt and locate all those vital documents. We're talking birth certificate, social security cards, the deed to your house. Third, you store those originals somewhere super secure. And fourth, you make copies of everything. Now, how you store them is key. The originals, they need to be in waterproof bags, stashed away in a safe deposit box at a bank, or in a really sturdy evacuation box you can grab. Now, the copies, don't keep them in the same house. That defeats the purpose. Give a set to a trusted relative who lives somewhere else. And for all your digital stuff, back it up to a secure cloud service or a password-protected thumb drive that you keep safe. All right, on to the next piece of your foundation, and folks, this is a big one. Be honest with yourself for a second. Do you really know what your insurance covers? Like, in detail? For a lot of us, the answer is kind of fuzzy. So here's your game plan. First, actually sit down and read your policy. Understand what's in there. Then call your agent. Ask them direct questions like, am I covered for a flood? What about an earthquake? Those often require extra coverage. And finally, you guessed it, make copies of those policies and keep them with your other important papers. Okay, the foundation is set, solid. Now let's shift gears and talk about the immediate chaos, what you are going to need in those first critical 24 hours after an emergency hits. The number one thing you're going to need is something super simple: cash. Think about it. If the power's out, ATMs are down, credit card systems are offline, plastic is useless. Financial experts say you should have at least $300 in cash at home where you can get to it fast. And here's the pro tip that makes all the difference. Keep that cash in small bills. 1s, 5s, 10s, maybe a few 20s. Seriously, in the middle of a crisis, nobody is going to be able to make change for a $100 bill. Small bills are what make that money actually usable. Next up, contacts. Your phone could be lost, broken, or totally dead. A physical, written-down list of your emergency contacts isn't old-fashioned, it's a lifeline. This is that list of people and services you have to be able to reach, no matter what. And I want you to make this list comprehensive. Of course, you'll have your immediate family, but add your doctors, your bank's local branch, your insurance agent's cell. Put your lawyer on there, your financial advisor, and don't forget this one, the 1-800 numbers on the back of your credit cards. That can be a total lifesaver when you need to access your accounts. All right, we've handled the immediate aftermath, but what happens next? Now we have to focus on the long-term safety net. This is what's going to keep you afloat during the long weeks and months of recovery. So let's be crystal clear. This is not that $300 in cash we were just talking about. That's for gas and water in the first day. This is your recovery fund. This is the money that's going to pay for a temporary place to live, replace all the stuff you lost, and just bridge that gap until insurance money or other help starts to come in. So, what's the magic number here? Well, the general guidance from the experts is to have enough saved to cover 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. We're talking rent or mortgage, utilities, food, car payment, all the absolute must-haves. And there is one golden rule with this fund, and you can't break it. This money has to be in a separate account. Do not mix it in with your regular checking or savings. It needs to live in its own dedicated break glass in case of emergency account. It's like a financial firewall between you and disaster. Wow, okay, we've covered a ton of ground.
So let's pull all of this together into a really clear action plan, something you can use to turn all this information into real, genuine peace of mind. Let's boil it all down. Here it is, your 5-point checklist. Number 1, do your inventory and secure your documents. Number 2, review your insurance. 3, stash that emergency cash. 4, write down that physical contact list. And 5, start building that long-term savings fund. That's it, 5 concrete doable steps.
So why does all this matter? I mean, what are the real stakes here? It's this. A little bit of planning now is literally the difference between getting through a disaster with your financial security intact and falling into a financial crisis that could take years to recover from.
So I'll just leave you with this one last thought. An emergency doesn't care if you're ready. It won't wait for a convenient time. It just happens. So look at that 5-point list again. What's going to be your first step?